I know Jason, Paul, DeAndrea, and then Patty and Dan. The other guy, I'm sorry,
Del Faulkner from Margaretville Telephone.
Okay.
Jason Miller from Delhi.
Yep, from Delhi, and
Ken Prestige from Delhi Telephone.
okay. Okay, and I guess you can come up for a presentation, answer questions. It's just an information meeting, so whatever you can.
Maps are here for anybody that'd like them.
Okay. I appreciate you taking your time.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, I hate to be the horses and rather have somebody else tell the information. Well, look at all those dots.
So I'll start. I'll come over here where I can kind of look both ways. I'll start with what the programs are. So we started our partnership with Margaretville Telephone, and again we have Paul from the Delaware County Electric Co-op, Paul DeAndrea, Jason and Ken from Delhi Telephone, and then Glenn Faulkner in the back is from Margaretville Telephone. But Margaretville Telephone, Delhi Telephone, and Delaware County Electric Co-op, we formed the Delaware County Broadband Initiative to try to bring broadband to. It started as a lot of the co-op members was our goal, the 5,300 co-op members, because a lot of them live in rural areas outside of the villages, and internet speeds are slow or sometimes non-existent. If you're in some of the other providers' territories, you know, Frontier's at least got DSL, and we had some DSL and a little bit of fiber. And that partnership was mainly to come together and show New York State that we were working together, and we had multiple partners working on this. The benefit to each group is obviously Margaretville's expanding into unserved areas, Delhi Telephone's expanding into unserved territories. The co-op not only gets service to their members, but most of this is attaching to their pole lines. And anytime we attach to a pole, we pay a pole attachment fee. So they've worked with us to get the pole attachment fees, and that's how the partnership has worked. We've been through 4 stages now of different projects, or we're going into the 4th stage. The first was under the old New York, or Connect New York program, and that was where the New York State had $25 million worth of funds for broadband yearly. And in 2014, we received our first project, which was the only one in the state awarded that year. And the total of that project was a $6.7 million project, and we privately funded between Margaretville and Delhi about 3.7 and received 2.9 to 3 million in state funds. For Delhi Telephone, that was the whole area of town of Courtright and a little bit into Stamford and Hamden area. Margaretville was a little bit farther over into Harpersfield and Jefferson, some of those areas, some Vandy's also. Then New York State, during the bank bailouts, came up with a $500 million program for broadband, and that's when broadband really exploded. How New York State defines broadband is 100 meg internet service to anybody that's passed. So if you don't have 100 meg internet service, you're considered unserved or underserved. So if you have at least 25 meg at your home, you're considered underserved, because at least you have broadband, but it's slower than what New York State wants to future-proof for infrastructure. If you have 100 meg, then you're considered served. So the next 2 rounds, phase 1 of New York State and phase 2 of the New York broadband program, both during our partnership, we applied for both rounds. For Delhi Telephone, I'll speak to that program. We received in phase 1, Bavina was the only town available with census blocks available for phase 1, and we received that project. It was about 1.1 million, and we received about 900,000 in state funding. It was a 70-30 grant project, and that passed over 480 homes, and that'll replace our copper facilities there, because you get in Bavina, and there's some areas that are over 30,000 feet away from a cabinet, and the internet speed is 1, 2, 3 meg. So we'll have that built out by the end of this year, hopefully. And then phase 2, which was the larger opened up census blocks, is what the town of Franklin falls under. And all of the census blocks that we're showing are considered unserved by New York State, so they don't have 25 meg available to them. According to every telecom provider, whether it's Time Warner, Frontier, Verizon, Delhi, Margaretville, we all have to report to the FCC what we can provide to each home in a census block. And so if these census blocks are showing that 25 meg is not available to the homes in these census blocks. So the blue on the map is phase 2. That's what we'll be building by 2018. The pink is a little bit of overlap from our first round of funding. So that's why I separated the two. The pink and the blue are all being built. They're just being built on different grant projects. So with the Franklin project, we'll be passing over 800 homes, or 800 911 addresses, I should say. We haven't verified that the structures are there. And we have not put this on our website because we are still designing which roads we're going down and how we're going to feed it. So this is kind of a, let the town know